Girls, the next one we are going to see SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. This already have learnt in your 10th social, isn't it girls? SARC. So this SARC economic organization, it was organization of the South Asian nations, which was established in the year 1985 on 8th December. This SARC Economic Organization was established on 8th December 1985. At first, there were 7 countries. Do you know what are all the 7 countries in the SARC? India, Bhutan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Maldives, Sri Lanka. At first, these 7 countries were the members of SARC. And in the year April 2007, Afghanistan, it becomes one of the member country of SARC, that it comes at the 8th country, and it was added itself to the SARC institution. And the secretariat of SARC is located in Kathmandu at Nepal, and it was established on 16th January 1987. And the SARC members of the SARC, they meet once in 2 years. And the first SARC summit conference was held at Dhaka in the year 1985. And in the year 2018, the summit was held at Sri Lanka. So this we are going to study about SARC, and at first it has only 7 countries as its members, and in the year 2007 the 8th country Afghanistan added itself to the SARC organization, and now it has 8 countries as its members. And India, the 8 countries are India, Bhutan, Pakistan, Nepal, Maldives, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. And the secretariat is located at Kathmandu, Nepal, and it was established on the year 1987 on 16th January. Say they used to meet, the members of the SARC organization, they used to meet once in 2 years, and the first meeting was held at Dhaka in the year 1985, and recently it was held at Sri Lanka in the year 2018. And then we are going to see the functions of SARC. So the main functions of SARC. First one, cooperation. Maintenance of the cooperation in the region. Second one, prevention of common problems, which is associated with the member countries. So the common problem, if arise its member countries, it has to prevent and it has to remove the problem. So give solution to the problems. And third one, ensuring the strong relationship among the member countries. And fourth one, removal of poverty through various poverty alleviation programs and other things. And fifth one, preventing terrorism in the region. So it has to take care of all these things. The SARC organization, it has to take care of all these things among the member countries. And the next one is achievement of SARC. If you see the achievements of SARC, the first one, it established a South Asian Preferential Trading Agreement. That is SAPTA, SAPTA, South Asian Preferential Tariff Agreement, Trading Agreement. So with the help of this, it reduced the tariff and also some non-tariff barriers agreements. While we are studying about the free trade, in the previous video, while we are talking about the trading blocks, we studied about the free trade, isn't it? So that include in the SAPTA. And the second one, it also established a technical committee. So the work of the technical committee is to cooperate with the Department of Agriculture, communications, education, health and population, rural development, science and technology, tourism, etc. So this committee, it has to give the cooperation among the member countries, economic cooperation among the member countries in this field, agricultural field, educational, health, rural development, tourism, science and technology, and other field. And the third one, the SARC, it established a three-tier mechanism. Why it has established a three-tier mechanism? To exchange the information on poverty among the nations, and also it make policies to reduce the poverty in the member countries. So to poverty reduction programs, and also it implemented the poverty reduction programs by three-tier mechanism. And the fourth one, it has an agricultural information center. South Asian Agricultural Information Center. In the year it established SAIC in the year 1988, it has to take care of it. It works as a Central Information Institute for the Department of Fisheries and Forestry. And the last one, South Asian Development Fund. So SARC established a fund which is called the South Asian Development Fund. With the help of this fund, it helped the next we can see the achievements of SARC. What are all the achievements? The establishment of South Asian Preferential Trading Agreement, that is SAPTA, SAPTA, South Asian Preferential Trading Agreement. What does it function? It helps to reduce the tariff and also non-tariff barriers in the on imports. So it helps to reduce the tariff on imports among these countries only. I am talking about only the 8 countries. And the second one, a technical committee was set up for the economic cooperation among the SARC countries. So for the 8 countries, for the 8 members of the SARC, a technical committee was set up, and this technical committee, they look after the agricultural, communication, education, health, population, rural development, science and technology, etc. So they take care of this. The technical committee take care of these areas in the member countries. And it also established a 3-tier mechanism. What is the function of this 3-tier mechanism? They have to analyze the problem in the member countries, mainly the poverty. So they analyze the poverty ratio in the member countries, and they also establish or found a solution, policies. They make policies for poverty alleviation programs. And fourth one, Agricultural Information Center, which was established in the year 1988, and it is an institution for agriculture, fisheries, forestry, etc. Information Center, South Asian Information Center, which was established in the year 1988. It took care of the agricultural department, fisheries department, forestry department, and other things. And South Asian Development Fund. So this fund is used for the human resource development, infrastructural development projects, communication, trade, and all other development projects. Though the member countries agreed to achieve these things, SARC organization achieved these things, the trade has not increased beyond 3% for the past 30 years. Though it has many relaxations, only 8 countries are there. though they have a mutual understanding and good relationship, the trade has not gone beyond 3%. And the next one we are going to see the Asian, that is Association of Southeast Asian Nations. That we will see in the next video. Namaskaram girls. Now we are going to see Asean, that is Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. It was established on 8th August 1967 in Bangkok with the 5 member countries, namely Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. So these are the 5 original member countries of Asean. Later, 5 countries they have joined, that is Jerusalem, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar and Cambodia. These 5 countries they joined later. So initially it was established with the 5 member countries. Later another 5 countries they joined in this. So this 10 members of the Asean, besides this 10 members, first 5 member countries, then later 5 countries they have joined. So altogether 10 members. Apart from this 10 countries, there are 6 dialogue partners which have been participating in its deliberations. That means in all other activities. So who are the 6 dialogue partner countries? China, Japan, India, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand. These 6 countries were dialogue partners of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Why it was established? What was their expectation? They expected to benefit from the FTA, that is Free Trade Agreement. Because in the Free Trade Agreement already we have studied reduction of tariff and non-tariff barriers, isn't it? So these 10 countries with the 6 dialogue partners, they were expected to benefit with Free Trade Agreement. And the common historical cultural background made the member countries to maintain their unity and solidarity by establishing a trade bloc. This foreign trade is considered to be the lifeblood of the Asian countries as they are following the globalization and prudent macroeconomic policies. Usually, the Asian Conference of the heads of government members countries is the highest forum for Asian cooperation. And they used to meet once in 3 years. Usually the SAARC and WTO, they used to meet once in 2 years. But this Association of Southeast Asian Nations, they used to hold the conference once in 3 years. And the ministerial meeting of foreign ministers is the next highest decision making body. And India's relationship, if you talk about India, because we are one of the dialogue partners in the Southeast Asian nations. So India became a sectoral dialogue partner of Asean in the year 1992. And with the geographic proximity of Asian countries, India facilitates faster exports and the lower freight cost. Freight means here the exporting cost. So, நிறைய export பண்றோம் with minimum cost, lower freight cost. And if you see the functions of Asean, it facilitates the free movements of goods. Now let us see the functions of Asean. Free free movements of goods and services. Free movement of goods and services within the countries, the nations, that 16 countries, creating a single regional market like European Union. So geographical area they have expanded up to this, the 16 member countries they are doing. It is considered to be a single geographical area. So the market, the price will be same in all the 16 countries. And it also provide free access to the marketers of one member country to the market of all other member countries, so that they can fostering growth in the region. So free access of marketers. Of the one member country to other member country, so that it can get the fostering growth. And the third one, it improves the business competitiveness between businesses from different countries, and also narrow developmental gap between member countries. So, business competition with other countries. With others, with the rest of the world. Okay, rest of the world countries. இவங்களுக்குள்ள சண்டை வராதுடா, இவங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு காம்படிஷன் இருக்காது. இந்த 8 நாடுகளும் சேர்ந்து மற்றவங்க கூட பிஸ்னஸ் கம்பீட் பண்ணுவாங்க. But they have the narrow development between the member countries. Narrow developmental gap between member countries. And also it paves the way for the market and investment opportunities to the member countries. ஒரு இதுல இருந்து மார்க்கெட்டிங் வந்து போடுவாங்க. They can invest in their member nations. ஒரு country இன்னொரு countryல இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணுவாங்க. So market and investment, it paves way for the market and investment opportunity to the member nations. And it also foster cooperation in the industrial area. It also helps to improve the industries in it, all the member nations. ஒரு நேஷன் மட்டும் அதில் இருக்க அந்த 10 country 16 country தான் மட்டும் வாழறோம்னு நினைக்க மாட்டாங்க. It also helps the other countries to get faster growth in industries also. And in the year of 1997, the Asian countries, they met the economic crisis. கடினமான சூழ்நிலைன்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல, இக்கட்டான சூழ்நிலையை சந்திச்சது இந்த இயர் 1997. So all the Asian economies experienced a great economic crisis in the year 1997. And the next one we are going to see Brics. My spelling differed. BRICS. Brics. The word Brics refers to 5 countries. First one, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So first it was only brick, then it becomes Brics. It was an acronym for the association of 5 major emerging national economies. Already you have studied what do you mean by acronyms. It can be pronounced as a word, Brics. So Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Originally, the first 4 were as group, BRIC. Later on only the South Africa included. And in the year 2010 only it was South Africa was included. Then it was members known for their name Brics. At first only it has 4 member countries. Later on the South Africa in the year 2010 it included and it named as Brics. And since 2009 the Brics nations have met annually at formal summits. That means yearly once they meet. Meeting once in a year. Every year they used to meet. So they have the conference every year, and South Africa it hosted the 10th Brics summit. Their 10th summit conference was held at South Africa in the year 2018. And the agenda for Brics Summit on 2018, what are the things they decided in this conference? What was the discussion? What was their plan? What they have planned to implement for the 5 countries? So the agenda was inclusive growth, trade issues, global governance, shared prosperity, international peace and security. These are the 5 things was kept as agenda on the 10th summit of Brics, which was held at South Africa in the year 2018. And the headquarters is situated at Shanghai. The headquarter was situated at Shanghai, China. The NDP, that is the New Development Bank, referred the Brics Development Bank was established by Brics states. And the first summit was first conference or first meeting held at Moscow. The first conference was held at Moscow and South Africa hosted the 10th conference and Johannesburg. And India has the opportunity of hosting the 4th and 8th conference held at India in the year 2012 and 16. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. So 4th and 8th conference summit was held in India respectively in the year 2012 and 2016. And Brics countries make up 21% of global GDP. The world GDP, 21% of world GDP is made by this BRIC countries, all these 5 countries. %21 of world GDP is made by the BRIC countries, and they increase their share of global GDP threefold in past 15 years. So these 5 countries, they are working hard and they try to increase their GDP level in the world. And these are the home for the 43% of world population. So the total population, 43 population of the world is situated or populated in the BRICS countries. And it is also have combined foreign reserves and estimated of $4.4 billion. And if you see the functions of BRICS, it acts as a promoter of more legislative international system and also advocating the reform of UN Security Council. So if you see the functions of BRICS, It worked as a promoters. It acted as a promoter of the uh, legitimate international system, and also advocating the reform of US Security Council. UN Security Council, United Nations Security Council. And usually this frame of group, these BRICS countries, they are especially meant for south to south framework. All the countries are in the southern side, so south to south framework cooperation. And it is also worked as an agent, as south to south working framework, and it is also worked as an agent to the developed and developing countries. Agent between developed and developing countries. So developed countries and developing countries the media kara. It worked as a mediator, agent. For instance, in the WTO, World Trade Organization, the BRICS countries are emphasizing to promote fair order regarding agricultural policies. So WTO பேசும்போது the BRIC countries also members of the WTO. So they talk about the fair order of agricultural policies. And it also performs a commendable contribution for assisting the developing countries in gaining areas such as advantage in trade and climate change negotiations. So it is also contribute, help, assist the developing countries for the trade and climate change negotiation. So it assists the developing countries by giving its contribution as an advantages in trade and climate change negotiation, and also disseminates the information and exchange platform beyond economic cooperation. So beyond that, it is also acting as a catalytic in protecting the interest of middle powers on the global forum. So it is also worked as a catalytic, protecting the interest of middle power and global forum. And if you see the achievements of BRICS, if you see the achievements of BRICS, the first one, C or A, contingent reserve arrangement. It has further depended on consolidated the partnership members in the economical financial area. So it made an arrangement, that is contingent reserve agreement, which is consolidated the partnership of the members in the economic and financial area. So they have an arrangements with among themselves. And the 6th BRIC committee summit in Brazil, the member countries, they signed an agreement to create new development program. So in the 6th summit, that means 6th meeting, they decided for a new development program. For a new development bank, NDP. They decided to start a new development bank which has its headquarters as Shanghai, China, and the lines of Asian Development Bank and World Bank. So they themselves started a new development bank for the development of the member countries. And the economic potential and democratic development are putting in the BRIC committee increasingly in a leading position in setting the global agenda and having a greater say in the global governance. So it has to be remembered that BRICS share of 43% of world population with 21% of world GDP. Just remember this. So it has 43% of world population and for 21% of world GDP is given by the BRICS committee. So with this, we come to the end of this lesson. Just read the lesson, you can understand. Nothing difficult in this lesson. After reading, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you, girls.